My name is Josh Van Valkenburg-Gernert. I'm here with head men's soccer coach Bill Schaefer. Thanks for joining me today. Just kind of getting started. Obviously, there was a little bit of transition this off-season. Head coach left. You took over the interim role. What's it kind of been like to just get started and working with the guys again?
Obviously, coming into the season, it was a little chaotic, just getting everything kind of organized. And, of course, with 14 new freshmen coming in, it just added a new element of just everything, part of the learning curve. But I think with that, we've had a really good response from the players. They seem excited to be back. And so far, I feel like the heartbeat of the team is really strong right now, and I think we're in a good spot.
Yeah, you kind of mentioned 14 new freshmen. Obviously, that's a lot. Especially, that's a third of your team basically right now, with some key returners like Garrett and Hayden. What have some of the young guys kind of been able to do to get themselves acclimated right away?
Well, I think a large majority, out of the 14, I think 7 or 8 of them came in game ready. They took the conversations I had with them when we started the recruiting process and understood that if they wanted to earn minutes and earn a spot on the team, which is very hard to do as a freshman, you had to be physically fit and ready. And some of these guys came in and ready to fight for a spot, and we've seen some great success with a few freshmen even taking starting positions as far as going into this game with MSUB this weekend. So, yeah.
Hayden and Garrett, 2 of your captains, what have they kind of done to be able to, just kind of be effective leaders early in the season?
Well, I think I run a little different approach with my leadership. I really lean on my captains to hold my players accountable, to be a part of just the day-to-day decisions. Like, ultimately I'll make them, but a lot of times I'll go to them and say, hey, what are your thoughts on this? Because sometimes the way I see it maybe is not the same way as the player sees it. So I've really lent into them, and I've asked them to be a part of some of these decisions about maybe looking at lineups, or hey, what are your feelings about things that I might not see on the field, but they're playing next to the player and they can give me some really good positive feedback. So I think if I didn't include them, I might not always make the right decision. So having them around has helped me kind of guide the team, and I know that because they have more buy-in, they're taken serious as leaders on the field, right? It's when Garrett talks to a player, the players take it serious. So
sure. And you're going into your second year being here, obviously. Just something I've noticed just being out here for a few of the practices is there's a pretty clear increase in just the work and the skill. Is that something you really kind of tried to put an emphasis on when you were recruiting this year?
I think recruiting, and then I also think some of the returning players had that want to as well, to have that just high pace, high energy, high technical. So when you bring in those 14 new recruits, adding that new competitive element, it pushes everybody. But what we've seen very similar to this season is every practice is compounding, and they're getting a little more competitive and a little more technical, and I think it's growth. And there's days that are rough, like, it's been 2.5 weeks, and there's days where we're pushing them and you can see the exhaustion, and you can see the new guys, and you can see the old guys are tired, and so you're like, okay, today may not be the right day, but that's okay because they're giving me 95% of what they have almost every single day. So we're going to have those. So yeah, I've been real excited with the effort, the attitude, the competition they bring in every practice.
Sure. Just last question. You start your season Friday at MSU Billings, then come home Sunday. How excited are you to just see the guys out in, live, real gameplay?
Well, you can ask any one of the boys, especially the returners. Game day is my favorite day. There's nothing better than game day. I think I wake up out of bed. If you were to ask my wife, I come out of it, I'm like, game day, because I just love it. And so when I take that room and I go in that locker room, these boys, I think when I first joined the team, they were scared of me because I was so excited about game day, and they would sit there. Now they are pumped up when I come in there. They know they better react because game day is the best day of the week. So I love practice, but when it's time to take the field, it's time to take the field. So.
All right, thanks so much for joining me, Bill.
Thank you.
Right, I'm here with captain of the men's soccer team, Hayden Jaramillo. Thanks for joining me today, Hayden. Just kind of getting started, what have you kind of seen, from yourself just in the growth since you've been here? This will be your 4th year now. Mm-hmm. What have you kind of seen in the growth of the program?
Yeah, so especially this year, I've noticed a different kind of intensity with all the boys. 14 new freshmen coming in. We didn't know what it was going to look like, but they've adapted well. And the returners have come back with the hunger of wanting to change the course of this program. So I have been excited about past seasons, but this one just feels a lot different.
Sure, and you're going into your second year as captain now, right? What has it kind of been like for you, to kind of be able to start taking a leadership role?
Yeah, so I've been a captain before in my high school and club team, but it's obviously different at the collegiate level. Kind of commending a little bit of respect from younger guys as well. But the team's been great. They've been kind of taken to my leadership as well as Garrett Cole's leadership, which I think is a huge difference from past seasons. Just the respect for leadership and the willingness to learn and come and ask questions to Garrett and I. So it's been awesome being able to be there to help Coach Bill as well as our teammates.
You obviously start your season in a couple days, MSU Billings on Friday. What's it kind of like now that like preseason is over now you get to go and do the real thing? How excited are you to kind of see some of those returners and new guys back on the field again?
Yeah, super excited. The scrimmages are obviously fun, but we're getting everyone playing time. We're working on a lot of things, but when it really matters, it's a different intensity. It's a different kind of feeling in the air. You prepare a lot different. I actually get a lot nervous before games. It's just normal butterflies, but once I'm out there, it's fine. But yeah, I'm super excited to kick the season off. Hopefully we get the win against Billings. It'll be a tough game, but I think that we can match up well with them and kind of surprise them, as we have a lot of new players that will be in our lineup this year. So completely different team, so I'm excited.
Yeah, you mentioned it's a completely different team. Just from being out here a little bit, I've noticed some, improvements just from when I started a couple of years ago to now. What do you think? What do you kind of owe that to, and how cool is that for you to see just some of that growth?
Yeah, so a big shout out to Coach Bill for the recruiting he's done. He's brought in a lot of quality players that are ready to play now, challenging our returners for playing time, which is huge. We haven't had that in the past, really. And then, just like what you said, being out here, the competition between players is a lot different. You can feel it. I mean, you make 2 mistakes and someone behind you is going to take your spot. So it really ups the level of our team. Coach Rob, our new assistant, was just saying that it started here with a lot of different, there's a huge gap between players, but it's continuing to get smaller and smaller, and we're going up together. So super exciting times.
Yeah, and then just last question for you is, what are some of your individual goals, and where do you think the team goals are for this year?
Yeah, so starting with team goals, I think that we can wreak some havoc in the RMAC and get a few conference wins, as well as non-conference wins. We're going to play every game to win, and again, I'm excited. I think a lot of teams aren't really ready for what we're going to be showing on the field, so it's super exciting times. And then personal goals, I am 2 assists off of tying the all-time assist record. So again, probably getting 3 assists would be nice, but also I'd like to break the record I broke last year, as well as get some goals on the board as well. And I had a strong start scoring-wise to the fall for scrimmages, thanks to a lot of great assists from my teammates. So I'm super excited and hopefully can get some points up to help our team win.
All right, thank you so much for joining me, Hayden.
Thank you.